All right. I believe our runners are ready now, so get your emojis ready, get your hype trains ready, get everything ready to go ape wild with Ape Out with Ozmourn, Boden, DevilSquirrel, and AkaraWa.
Hey everybody, we got a great ape out run for you. We have 4 of the top 5 runners in this category. And I am Enamel, and I have with me Zeke. You want to introduce yourself, Zeke?
Hello.
And runners, would you like to introduce yourself? We also have Akara, which does not have a mic, so I will introduce them. But the rest of the runners, you want to introduce yourself? Osborne?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Ozmourn. You might have heard my voice yesterday during the Trifox race, and now I'm here running Ape Out, the wonderful indie game, and I'm super excited for our commentators to give you more details on that. Devil Squirrel, you can introduce yourself next.
Hello, I'm DevilSquirrel. I'm also running in this race. Hopefully not get destroyed.
And hey, I'm Boden. I have the world record in this game at the moment, and hoping to get a decent run here today.
All right. Anything else before we get started in this? Everybody ready? All right, let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Zeke, do you want to explain this category a little bit?
Oh, yes, please. Yes. Okay, in this warpless category, you need to go through all levels for this without any skip. Anyway, we can explain details afterwards, so let's move on.
Yeah, so in this very first section, there is actually credit skips that you can do that save a little bit of time. However, it generally takes more time to avoid enemies than it does to just go ahead and kill them. But just wanted to mention that. And Zeke, do you want to tell us a little bit about the game itself?
Yes. Okay. So this Ape Out is a top-down view beat 'em up game. The player controls the ape and runs through maze-like levels and evading human enemies' attacks. So the actions the players take are tied with just sounds like symbols, and the stage is on a disc after analog jazz records. So this is a feature of this brief feature of this game.
Yeah, so all the runners are already in 1, 2, and the first enemies that we see are riflemen, and this one introduces one of the toughest enemies to deal with throughout the entire run, and it's these explodey boys is what I call them. And the reason why they're so tough is because they will kill you if you push them into walls too closely, if their friends shoot them and you're near them, and they will kill you instantly. The ape has 3 hit points. Oh, there we have our first death from Boden. The ape has 3 hit points. Gun damage does a single hit point, and all explosions do 10 hit points. There's also these gray doors. There's a small skip you can do on the gray doors. When you pull the gray door, normally you get 1, 2, 3, and then a long fourth final pull to pull the door off. While you're pulling that door, if you let it do the 3 quick door pulls and then let go and then grab again, your fourth door pull will be a quick one instead of the long one.
Okay, so this is just beyond the first half, right?
Yeah,
So
we're,
Ozmourn got into the last half just now.
Yeah, so the game is split up into 4 discs, both like a record, have a side A and a side B, or a cassette tape. And we're getting into the side B of the first disc now. All the runners are very, very close. Should also mention that this game is highly randomized. All of the levels are random. Ooh, we have a death from Ozmourn there from the Explodey Boy. Yikes, another one there. And all the levels are completely randomized. Enemy placements are randomized, so you have random game levels. I should also note that we don't have a way to set a seed, so all of the runners are running on different maps. Every time you die, it will recreate a new map. It ends up being pretty consistent, or fairly consistent in times, but if you like random games, then this is a great game to play.
Yeah.
This section here, Long Shadows, or all of these dark sections, the mechanics change a little bit. The enemies can't see you if you are not in their cone of light. However, if you do get into their cone of light, they shoot quicker than they normally would in most levels. So it's pretty easy to have sort of long hallways where you take hits just because they fire faster than normal. And right now you can see Ozmourn doing a trick that we call butt sliding, which is actually a little bit ironically named because how it actually works is when you're facing a wall at a certain distance, the wall pushes you away, and so you can actually get a speed boost from the wall pushing you away. And I should have mentioned there is a flashing light warning coming up in this level.
So Ozmourn is now in the first place, and he is going to maybe in the first place and going to the ending of this disc, right?
Yeah, we are almost done with this disc.
Yeah. Oh no.
One more level.
Yeah.
This game has a really big risk and reward mechanic where you can avoid a lot of enemies. However, they can fire and hit you from off screen. So you really risk going fast and just moving through the levels without engaging the enemies versus having to kill enemies, which is slower but safer. And
Akara has just finished disc 1, and Boden is following now.
Yeah, Akara's slightly ahead there.
Yeah. So then proceeding to disc 2. And going again to disc 2. So the ape was escaping from the laboratory in disc 1, and after that the ape goes into an office building here.
Yeah, this disc has a cutscene skip in the beginning of it, and I saw Akara and Boden both go for that cutscene skip, and DevilSquirrel and Ozmourn did not. The reason why you would not go for that cutscene skip is because if you die at any time during the first side of this disc, you will soft lock the game, and you'll have to restart the game. And so again, risk versus reward gameplay there. You save, I think it's 20 some seconds. I forget exactly how long. So it's definitely worth going for, but very risky in a race situation for sure.
Boden got the dead end, so he go back the way.
Yeah, lots of dead ends in this in this map, which is kind of frustrating because There is one tell, the tiled floors, the rooms with the tiled floors, are always dead ends, but you can go through a part of the map quite a ways without knowing, there's a dead end on Ozmourn's screen there. You can go through the map quite a ways for realizing you're coming up to a dead end. And just a part of the fun of running a randomized game.
Yeah, sometimes it's really annoying.
Yeah, it is. Boden, we can tell that Boden only has 1 hit point left. Ooh, there's a death by Boden. Probably shouldn't have even pointed that out. So Boden is now soft locked and will have to restart the game.
It happens. So he runs the game again.
And this disc can actually crash here and there too, between level transitions. So it's not exactly uncommon to have to restart the game itself sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So now Akara is the first place, and second place is DevilSquirrel, and Ozmourn is following.
Yeah, Akara is going very fast here. We're now starting to get into, we've sort of seen them before, but these sniper enemies. The sniper enemies are very, very accurate compared to the rest of the enemies. However, they take a long time to fire, so they're pretty easy to deal with. But in places, and this is kind of a common theme in this game, in places where you have wide open spaces, enemies can be really tough to deal with in wide open spaces. One other enemy that was introduced in this level, which is probably one of the most annoying enemies, we call them Melvins, and they're the smaller enemies with green hair, and they run away from you when you chase them, but then will turn around and fire at you. So they keep their distance. They're a little bit harder to deal with. And can be just really a thorn in your side.
Akara is now going into the skywalk, right? And go up there.
Yeah, at floors 17, you cross over and do an unfinished skyscraper, and then 9, you cross back into the original skyscraper. So a little bit of change of scenery, but largely the same mechanics. Once we make it down to the first floor and into the lobby, that is again wide open space that can be really tough to deal with. And I just want to point out, Akara, you can actually grab enemies. When you face enemies towards other enemies, they will sometimes randomly shoot at each other. Akara is really good at this grab technique, something that I've sort of ignored in my runs, but
I see.
Watching them do that is...
Yeah, he's very good at it.
Yeah, for sure. And now moving into the last level of this disc.
And Akara going to the first floor, and the next is that ground floor. So I really hate. Yeah, I really hate this level.
Yeah, this part where you're in the lobby is it can really kill a run, because taking deaths is actually not that big of a deal if you are at the beginning of a level. if you were at the end of a level, taking a death can be a really big time loss. So DevilSquirrel out of disc 2 first.
Yes, yes. First. And Akara is the second place, and Ozmourn is following. And due to the soft lock, Boden is in the first place right now.
Still not out of it. This game, tides can turn quickly in this game, and especially in this disc, bad things can happen. So
Yeah.
So Boden is not out of this.
Yeah. And the next is disc 3, and at the starting point of this disc, the ape is caught up in the cage again and runs away, breaking it out. So from here, a lot of enemies here.
A lot of enemies. Thankfully, in the beginning parts of this, when you have a lot of enemies grouped together in tight hallways, you can kind of push them all at once, which is really nice. And so they're a little bit easy to deal with. They become much harder to deal with as we go on in this disc. This disc also introduces fire into the equation. Fire will do 1 tick of damage if the ape catches on fire. But the enemies will run away from an ape that is on fire. So you can actually use it to your advantage in places. I don't know if it is something anybody intentionally does, but if the ape catches on fire, you can absolutely use it to your advantage and just run directly towards enemies to get areas clear. If you do get too far away from them, they will shoot at you. So you're not entirely safe, but it can work out really well if you're in tricky situations.
This is the last lever before the intermission.
Yeah, these wide open rooms can be really tough, and you can deal with them one of 2 ways. Again, risk versus reward. You can go right down the middle. To me, that's a little bit riskier. It's harder to deal with for me personally, but faster, of course. I like to go out around the edges and use cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you can get a break line of sight and take cover is a good thing.
So carry the first place still. And
we have another section of darkness. The difference is that the section of darkness has machine gunners, and machine gunners just kind of do a sort of spray and pray. So it is, once again random, kind of whether you get hit by them. They're not as accurate, but they do fire a lot. So this darkness section is a lot easier to deal with than the previous one. The previous one is actually a pretty big reset point for a lot of runs.
Here, and DevilSquirrel is now first place, and after that, Ozmourn is following, and going to the last half of this disc.
This race is still so tight.
Yeah.
They're very, very close still.
Very close. Yeah, staring in the dark. Yeah,
this side starts in the dark, but we'll quickly go outside to what's easily the hardest part of the of this disc. As you can see, DevilSquirrel is now out in the open, and we now have flamethrower guys, and one on fire there, which is always fun. The flamethrower guys are actually really easy to deal with. They can't turn fast enough to hit you because the flame sort of lags behind a little bit, so you can really just run past them. The main issue with these outdoor sections are these shotgunners. You can use the rocks for cover, but it's really easy to get hit by the shotgunners here. This is another place where I like to do the cowardly go around the edges of the map strats. Try to get, you can, go along the fence because enemies can't spawn, beyond the fence line, as well as try to use the rocks that are along the fence as cover.
Yeah. So it's the low risk, so.
Another thing that is introduced in this disc is you'll see some like black spots on the ground, look like, I don't know, paint or something. That's actually oil. You can actually catch the oil on fire. So just another environmental hazard to deal with.
Just DevilSquirrel was running out. Now Ozmourn is going into the oil. Just now.
Yeah, that one's always fun to light on fire.
And the last level, AkaraWa and Ozmourn is really close.
Ooh, another death from DevilSquirrel there. So we get yet another environmental hazard. Now we have bombs dropping, and they really like to drop right in your path, as we just saw from Boden's screen. And they're on a timer, so they kind of tick, tick, boom. However, if any of the enemies shoot them while you're next to them, they will explode. So I've definitely had many a run, many a death from just an errant bullet hitting one of those bombs while you're next to it. You think you're safe because they're on a timer, but it's not always the case. And yeah, wow. Akara and Ozmourn are literally neck and neck.
Yeah.
I also want to say that I got the banana for the first time. Continue.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the banana is, I believe it is, if you don't take a death in the first half of the side, a banana will spawn in the second half, and you get a banana sticker on your record, which is, everybody wants banana stickers. I mean, who doesn't?
Then disc 4, this is the last stage, and the AB is captured again, and this time it begins with being transported by a big ship. So the title is Adrift.
Yeah, and you start on a container ship, and just, I know that I've said risk and reward so many times, but yet again, these containers you can go through to get a little bit of cover. When you push the doors open, it's slightly slow, so it's a little bit slower strat, but you can get a little bit of safety from using the containers. These levels are pretty tough. There's sections where it's wide open, and that's always, you never want to see wide open sections because you get clear shots of the ape from the enemies there. And yeah, we just make our way up through the container ship. I don't know.
To go into the container, and
so we now have intermittent dark and light, kind of the electricity turning off and on due to the rough seas, which is the name of the level. The tricky part about this is that when it is dark, the enemies can't see you, but will fire just completely randomly. So they can hit you, they can hit each other. It's just kind of chaotic. And yeah, Boden's kind of taking the route that I always like to take in going through the containers at the bottom. And now we're into No Quarter, which is probably my least favorite level.
me too.
It's, even though it's tight quarters, there's just so many enemies, and it's
Yeah. It's really, really annoying.
Yeah, you can just really
Are
get into
they?
a lot of situations that are like,
Mhm.
you know,
The two
like,
first. The two first, aren't they?
yeah. Yeah, especially when you're pulling these doors and you just have tons of enemies and you're trying to pull a door and you have to go back and take out enemies for safety, and it just is it's not a level I enjoy.
Yeah. And now Ozmourn and following Akara is going into the last half.
Yeah, so at this point, this part of the run changes dramatically. Ozmourn just did it, but if you watch Akara here, when the runners get to the door here and when they see the enemies, they're going to pause and reset. And what happens is when you get to this door, there is a scripted explosion. And what the devs did is they set the ape's hit points to 99 so the ape wouldn't die from that explosion. Well, if you reset while the ape has 99 hit points, the door will be open once you reset, but the ape will still have those 99 hit points. And one thing that I didn't mention about taking damage that is very important during this part is when the ape takes damage, the ape goes faster. It's kind of there's a hierarchy. You don't go as fast. Like fire is the sort of the lowest boost, bullets, and then rockets. But like I said before, explosions do 10 points of damage. So you really kind of want to limit how many rockets you're taking here. But they make you go fast, so again, risk versus reward. How much damage are you going to take to go fast here, versus safety? And
Yeah. So you need to go. You need to get control of the damage, right?
yeah. And I've definitely died to taking too many rockets. It just happened to me recently. You
Sometimes.
do have to pay attention there. But yeah, I wonder if this would be a good place for a donation if we have one, because this is really just we're moving through this level, taking damage, and our 99 hit point glitch stays until the final level of the game.
Oh, I wish I had a donation for you, Enamel.
Okay.
I really do. But I will say I am enjoying this so much. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah, this game's extremely fun to play. Like, even just casually, the speedrun can sometimes be a little bit frustrating with the RNG, but like casually, this game is super fun. Great soundtrack. It just feels really fun to play. The enemies are just, they have just so many jars of strawberry jelly in their pockets, and really just, breaking the jelly jars is satisfying gameplay. So we have Ozmourn and Boden in the very final run. Their hit points have been reset back to 3, so they're no longer safe from damage, or less safe from damage, I should say. And you're breaking out of this zoo level, and you can actually use the animals to your advantage. If you break open the cages, they will go after enemies. And yeah, my first playthrough of this, I actually just went through and freed every single animal in this zoo. And I really didn't have to deal with very many enemies. It was really fun.
Yeah, I know.
And we're about to have our first finish.
Ozmourn is now going into the end. And
as soon as we see Ape out, that's time for Ozmourn.
ZZ, here's the first place.
Really good run.
Yeah, awesome run.
And we have time for Boden right behind.
Yes. Now he got the end, so Boden is the second place. ZZ. So he's getting back the second place, right? From the disc to soft log.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really awesome.
Great recovery.
Yeah, Akara was third place. Then first place, DevilSquirrel. This is.
Yeah, GG to all the runners. That was really close. That was
Really
very,
close.
that race was much closer than I was sort of
It was
expecting it
so
to be,
exciting. Yeah.
just because of the RNG in this game.
So again, the first place is Ozmourn, second place is Akara, and no, second place is Boden, and third place is Akara, and first place is DevilSquirrel. So this is for all runners. So
GG
could we-
Ozmourn. Nice run.
could we have a brief comments looking back to your own runs, guys?
So I came into the expectation that like all three of these runners were just gonna wipe the floor with me, and I did not think that I was actually gonna win that race.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah, I'm
you know how
shocked.
random this game is. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen, really, and I got the banana for the first time in top 3, which is great. So it's nice to see that I finally got to that level without dying. But really, the only time that I died was twice in album 1, and that was good. That was decent.
Man, I
Does
had
anyone
a couple of really dumb deaths.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When I got to rough seas, I tried to. There was like an explosion guy in front of one of the doors. You just have to like hit to push open, right? One of the green ones. And I tried to like go around him and just open the door, and there was another explosion guy on the other side that exploded and then exploded the guy on my side, and then I died.
I saw that. That was rough.
Yeah, I just got really bad luck on the disc 8 or album 3, but disc 8.
Yeah, that happens on that level sometimes. Sometimes I just get
Wait, continue before I say what I was gonna say.
Sometimes I just get to that level and then I die like 7 times in a row, and I don't know why.
Wait, hold up. I need to check something real quick. I'm looking at the timer. It says my channel time was a 26:52. That's like 30 seconds off PB. That's great.
Wow.
Oh, great.
That's 10 seconds off RTA PB.
So
very nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Dang. I kind of wish that I had my timer up. That might have been a PB IGT, but I wouldn't know.
I mean, it probably is with the restarts.
Yeah, that's true.
If did you restart in the first album?
I did.
Okay.
So that might have been a PB IGT. I'd have to retime it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it also like saves a bunch of IGT time on the other levels. Did you like? I mean, it's really safe to restart on like the side transitions. Like you can just immediately restart.
Yeah, the side ones are good.
Yeah, I restarted through like all of the ones in album 1, except for the very last one, and I did one of them in album 4, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, great run, man.
That's like the best run I've had in a long time. I'm really glad. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
I mean, considering we were all that close to a 26:52, that was a fantastic race.
Yeah,
It was.
all of your runs were just so close, such good runs. That's why you're all at the top of the leaderboard.
Hey man, don't forget about Shotgun.
Yeah, don't forget about Shot. Shout out to Shotsu. Yeah.
Man, 3rd place runner. Couldn't be
Yeah.
here today. We didn't want to, but it's
Absolutely
alright.
amazing. But yeah, I think that's all right.
All right. Thank you all. That was an amazing race. I was having trouble figuring out who to actually watch, which is a great problem in a speedrun race. It's a great problem to have. And I gotta say, you all did absolutely wonderfully. Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. All right, that was Ape Out. And with Ozmourn, Boden, DevilSquirrel, and Akara. We do have a new donation incentive that just dropped. Let me go find out what that is before I can tell you about it.